Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about the Trump who stole Christmas and mass layoffs. The Trump administration, through the Office of Management and Budget, sent out a memo directing federal agencies to prepare for a reduction in force in the event of a government shutdown. A reduction in force isn't just layoffs. It's the elimination of the position as a whole. Merry Christmas, civil servants. Trump will be terminating your positions to avoid negotiating over health care credits a lot of his own party wants, and some plan on introducing bills about next month. As the news broke, Schumer said, quote, "Donald Trump has been firing federal workers since day one, not to govern, but to scare. This is nothing new and has nothing to do with funding the government. These unnecessary firings will either be overturned in court or the administration will end up hiring the workers back, just like they did as recently as today." House Minority Leader Jeffries threw out a surprising twist. They want any potential budget deal in writing or legislation saying that handshake deals were out of the question. Looks like Lucy moved that football one too many times, and Charlie Brown isn't going to try to kick it again. Good. There are a lot of questions about the legality of the move, but many Americans don't have a lot of faith in the outcome of a case that's headed to the Supreme Court. There are theories as to why Trump seems willing to destroy the livelihoods of Americans to avoid negotiating on ACA credits that even some in his own party want. One is that Trump is hoping to apply pressure to the Democratic Party by saying, "Look what you made me do." Let's be real clear on something. There's absolutely no requirement to terminate these positions and hurt American families before the holidays. That's a choice the Trump administration is making. Another theory is that this actually explains why Trump keeps recklessly steering the country into a shutdown. He wants the shutdown because he wants to use it as a justification for firing people. That sounds a little bit out there, but back in February, the OMB sent out another memo that said agencies had to submit plans for reductions in force by March 13th. One interesting little part said they needed to identify, quote, "all agency components and employees performing functions not mandated by statute or regulation who are not typically designated as essential during a lapse in appropriations." Looks like Republicans were at least getting concepts of a plan together to use an absence of funding to do this since back in February. Trump is trying to pin these potential firings on the Democratic Party. But it's hard to do that when the groundwork started being laid before the end of the first full calendar month in office. Bobby Kogan, who is a former OMB official and current Senior Director of Federal Budget Policy for the Center for American Progress, said, quote, "Setting aside the question of legality, this would be an action of enormous self-harm inflicted on the nation, needlessly ridding the country of talent and expertise. It's also extortive. Give us what we want in a funding fight, or we'll hurt the country." We're days away from finding out whether or not Trump will steal Christmas from a bunch of civil servants and their kids, so they can raise health care costs on the poor to pay for tax cuts for the rich. I'm going to say it again. If Dickens wrote this character, it would have been called Over the Top. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.